So today I'm talking about a very special game. First, because I actually really like it, and second, because this game is kind of special to me personally, as it was my very first video review on my channel, which was shitty by the way, so don't go back and watch it. What's up everyone and welcome to a new video. My name is Omar with Real Gamer Review and today we are reviewing Death Stranding, the PC version. Actually, it will be a full review for the game and I'll mention as well what are the differences between this version and the PS4 version. Before starting the video, please don't forget to hit like, subscribe and click the bell icon as it really helps the channel to develop and deliver more relevant content for you guys. Also, before starting the video, please note that there might be some spoilers. I tried my best to avoid any major spoilers, so it shouldn't be that bad. Without further ado, let's get right into it. Death Stranding is an action game developed by Kojima Productions Studio. It is considered the first game from director Hideo Kojima and Kojima Productions after their split from Konami in 2015. The game was actually a PS4 exclusive till the 14th of July 2020 when it was released on PC. The game is set in the United States following a cataclysmic event which caused destructive creatures called BTs to begin roaming the Earth. BTs is a shortcut for bleached things. Yeah, there are some weird names here, so just go with it. You control Sam Porter Bridges, played by the actor Norman Reedus. Sam is a porter tasked with delivering supplies to isolated colonies and reconnecting them via a wireless communications network called the Chiral Network. Yes, you are literally a porter making deliveries in this game, but more on that later. Alongside Reedus, the game features actors Mads Mikkelsen, Lea Seydoux, Margaret Qualley, Troy Baker, and a few more. By the way, Lea Seydoux is eating a lot of worms in this game. Also, the BTs are surrounded by a rain known as Timefall, which damages the player's armor and cargo by speeding up their deterioration. So try not to stay under that kind of rain for a long time. BTs as well are normally invisible, but Sam's suit is equipped with a robotic sensor attached to a super creepy baby that points towards nearby BTs. And if you stand still for a few seconds, they get kind of revealed. Death Stranding is an action game set in an open world and includes asynchronous online functions, which is really interesting by the way, and we will be talking more about it later in the multiplayer section. Kojima refers to Death Stranding as the first Strand game, an original genre categorized by the game's incorporation of social elements. He compared this genre to how his earlier game Metal Gear, which is now considered a stealth game, as it was before called an action game during its release, because the stealth genre had not been established. So as I mentioned before, you control Sam Bridges, a porter for a company known as Bridges. The player is tasked with delivering supply cargo to various isolated cities known as knots, as well as isolated researchers and survivalists, while also connecting them to the communication system that I mentioned before known as the Chiral Network. You will be evaluated by the company and recipients after each delivery based on your performance, including likes similar to the real-world social media networks. The mission or the delivery is evaluated based on whether the cargo was delivered or not, if it is intact or has a percentage of damage, how long it took to deliver, and the route you used for the delivery, among other few factors. These merits are in turn used to level up the player's statistics, such as stability and weight capacity, and increase their standing with individual locations and characters, which can improve rewards as well. How cargo is packed by the player and the overall weight being carried affects Sam's ability to navigate through the environments. Also, the main character reacts very realistically to the in-game world elements like rocks, hills, rivers, especially if you are carrying heavy weight. You also need to balance the cargo on your back if it exceeds a certain weight. You also have a certain amount of stamina that will be depleted if you constantly sprint or cross a lot of rivers. And in the case of a big fall, or if you try to cross a deep river for example, you would probably end by losing or permanently damaging your cargo. Later on, after progressing a bit during the campaign, you will get some tools that will make your life a bit easier during the delivery, like vehicles and some mechanical support that will help you carry even more weight, and a few more. You can kind of print as well a few structures that will help you during the deliveries, in addition to ladders and rope that you can carry and use for hard to reach areas or crossing deep rivers. You won't be encountering BTs only during your journeys, but you will encounter as well later on mules and terrorists. Mules are some sort of bandit-like porters which are always trying to steal your cargo. As for the terrorists, they are mainly trying to kill you. Pretty straightforward. There are a few boss fights as well featured in the game, but you won't encounter them that often. Starting the game you won't have any weapons, but progressing through the campaign you will unlock a lot of weapons, most of them are unlethal. There are a few lethal weapons that you will unlock later on, but I wouldn't recommend using them as killing anyone in this game is a major issue, and will affect the in-game world badly due to some events that I will not mention for the sake of spoilers. But despite this game having weapons, don't get the impression that this game is action-packed like the Metal Gear Solid series. Weapons in this game won't be used a lot, as this game is more focused on the delivery concept and connecting the players with each other. I know all of that sounds a bit weird when you hear it, but probably if you play this game for a bit and give it a chance, you will like it. For the gameplay and missions part, this game PC version is almost identical to the PS4 version. The major difference is in the graphics and visuals part, which we'll be discussing later in more details. The multiplayer here has a very new and unique concept, not like most other games. It's all about connecting players. Let me explain. After connecting your first area to the chiral network, other players' structures in the game will be visible to you and you can even use them, provided of course that you are connected online while playing the game. So let's say if another player already played the game and already passed through the same route you are going through, and he previously put a ladder to cross a deep river, for example. If in your game session this area is already connected to the chiral network, then you will be able to see that same ladder and interact with it and use it. You can award that player a like as well for the ladder he left. And the game actually encourages this kind of behavior, as the more likes you give, the more likes you will receive. You can as well donate materials to other players' structures. The same concept goes to every different kind of structure in the game, and on a very big scale actually. You can later on even pave some roads for other players to use their vehicles on and make their deliveries much easier. You can as well leave all sorts of different signs for other players, like encouragement signs written on it "keep going" or warning signs telling players that this area has timefall rain, BTs or mules. And that whole new multiplayer system that Kojima came up with works flawlessly. Really, it is something unique and I like it a lot. Some players didn't like it that much, maybe because it's a new thing or they are not into that kind of games, but I certainly hope that other studios start implementing that kind of multiplayer in their games instead of being all about shooting each other in most games. All the previous things that we talked about on the PC version is almost identical to the PS4 version of the game, but when it comes to this part, that is where we see some major differences. Of course, as you must have guessed, the PC version gives you a lot of options to select your visuals and graphics and crank them up way higher than what the PS4 can do. Don't get me wrong, this game still looks wonderful on the PS4. Kojima Productions did an amazing job in creating this game's world and all its fine and small details. And also, how did they portray the real actors into the game's world with some breathtaking visuals which are pretty close to real life. And as always with most of Kojima's games, they use the state-of-the-art technological tools to create the visuals and the facial impressions of the actors. But of course, as always, if you have a decent gaming PC, you will get a much better and smoother experience when it comes to this part. Especially that the game is capped to 30 frames per second on the PS4. Even the PS4 Pro, while it has a bit higher resolution compared to the PS4, it is still capped to 30 frames per second. Unfortunately, till the recording of this video, the PS5 didn't get a 60 frames per second patch like some other PS exclusives. But I hope they release it soon, as this game really deserves one. Do you honestly think that Hideo Kojima will have some bad music and audio in this game? Of course not. This game has some excellent music tracks that plays in the key moments of the game, which really enhances the experience and gets you even more connected to the game, but unfortunately I won't be able to play any of them for you due to copyright reasons. But I'll share with you guys as always some clips so you can listen to the game audio and judge it yourselves. Despite this game having some mixed reviews and some players kind of trashing it online, but I think that this game was one of the best games released on the PS4. And I'm happy that it got a PC version so more people can enjoy it. This game is epic and I loved every moment of playing it. Hideo Kojima managed to really create a new genre of video games and managed to connect players in a very new and interesting way. So if you are in the market searching for something new to play and enjoy, and you never played this game before, but don't mind steering away from your regular kind of games and trying something new, then I would definitely recommend giving this game a try. Alright, time to wrap this up. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this video or you learned something, then leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.